Hello, everyone. It is time for a cup of coffee, maybe even breakfast at Dale's Diner. Wouldn't you know it, the old schnoz starts itching right when the show starts. I don't know what the hell's going on, but it is fishing season. Be very careful about the bait shop that you go in, because sometimes if those minnows are not in a good mood, if they're not chipper, as my mother would say, they're not moving around, don't get them. All right? Just remember, take a good look, view the minnows. And if they are not so active, and if they look like they've missed a few aerobics exercise classes, do not buy those damn minnows. You're not going to catch anything. All you're going to be doing is shaking your own pole with a dead minnow on the other end. For God's sakes. I don't know, my friend Oli came in the other day and he was saying, whoa, Lina was really frisky the other night. And I said, well, why is that? Why would she have a little extra zest? Speaking of energy. She said, well, her and her friend there were watching Desperate Housewives of Oslo, and she said, and her favorite hero, Helga, who's been having marital problems apparently, hired a young strapping lad named Thor as the pool boy. This is in Desperate Housewives of Oslo, mind you. Norwegian love, above the almost at the top of the planet, right? So she said her Helga has been having a fling with Thor. I got to get it straight. I haven't been drinking, mind you, and apparently there was a little bit too much. It was like a whoopee smorgasbord. That's what she called it. That's according to Oli. And so she was in the mood. And I said, what do you mean by in the mood? And she said, Dale, if you don't know, I'm not going to tell you, you poor desperate bastard. So anyway, get your minnows all together. When I was a young lad, right after I left Kimball, that's the great town, we moved to the big city of Osakis, right? That was my job. At age 8, I dug earthworms, sometimes night crawlers, and I sold them to the bait shop. And I might have made $3 one time. I mean, you talk about an empire, that's the kind of cash I used to come across, even before I was a strapping young lad of 12. I already had maybe $11 in the bank. I don't want to brag, but when you've got the cash, you've got the cash, because sometimes single women will be watching and they'll say, ooh, that Dale, he's kind of on the wealthy side. I wonder if he still has that loot out back somewheres. Well, my great uncle, guy by the name of Abe West, who was up in Walker, Minnesota, actually in Hackensack. He lived by himself in a cabin on the lake. He didn't trust those damn banks the same as I don't. And he used to bury his cash in the backyard. But you have to make your cash, waterproof tight. Well, we've got some customers coming in, and it looks like I better go. I don't know, I better have some coffee with me. Cheers to everybody. Well, you don't say that. If you're Czech, you say na zdraví, to your health, right? There you go. It's a little Czech. Doesn't hurt anybody, right? Have a great day. Oh, that's maybe what my missus was said too. A little Czech doesn't hurt anything, she said. Well, anyway, you have a wonderful day.